If you're going to get one tool to start content creation or stock video, the item that I recommend you get first is the DJI OSMO Pocket 3. The first thing that you can do to maximize the quality of the video you're getting out of the OSMO Pocket 3 is to use your smartphone. And with your smartphone, dial in manual settings. You can see that I'm here on manual. I'm shooting at 4K. I'm shooting at 4K, 25. I'm in a PAL country, so I'm at 25 frames per second. And I've got the shutter speed at 1/50th of a second. That's going to be double the frame rate, or the 180 rule, and I put it on. I'll leave it on ISO 100. It's burning out the highlights in this fireplace video, but this video isn't for this. It's for this. Once you get your manual settings in, the next thing you want to do is white balance. You can see the white balance is way off on this. The easiest way to set the white balance is to swipe left on the little screen. Put it in auto white balance. That'll give you a reference point, and then put it right back into manual with a touch screen, and that'll freeze it right at that point. That's the easiest way to do it. You can fine tune it if you want, but that's the easiest way to do it. I do that before each recording. Set it. You don't want the white balance to change. You don't want the exposure to change while you're shooting. In many cases, you also want to set the focus. The reason is that if something goes in front of the screen, it'll refocus, and then it'll snap back to the next closest thing in the scene. And if you're doing, for example, on this camel shot, I didn't want it to focus on the tree and then snap back to the camel in the background. I wanted it on the camel. And the way I did that was I focused on the camel by pressing the 3 dots in the bottom of my smartphone here. And I went to focus mode, and I changed it from continuous to single. That sets the focus where it's at, and the focus won't change. Then I can do some kind of reveal shot where I'm lifting up the camera or sliding it, like in that one behind the tree, to the camel. So you set your white balance, you set all your settings, including sometimes your focus. A lot of times when you're setting your shutter speed, the shutter speed isn't going to work at double the frame rate, or the 180 rule as it's called. In that case, you need to have these filters. These are magnetic filters. They're easy to just pop on and pop off. I have mine labeled because I cannot read them. These are also polarized. You can get any set. I think they all work about the same. I don't have a specific recommendation, but just read reviews and get it yourself. Look at these shots, again, at camels. I'm doing a camel thing lately because we're in the Middle East. We went to the camel races, and the motion blur on this needs to be just right, or these just don't look right. You get that smooth, comfortable, non-jittery motion blur when you use the 180 rule, and to do that you need these filters. If you're shooting 25 or 50 frames per second, whatever that is, double it, set your shutter speed at that amount, double that amount, then you'll see that you're overblown if you're in the daytime. And so then what you want to do is you put the filter on that has those settings with a balanced exposure. Now, in bright day where I'm at, because this is a hot, sunny desert area, I'll often use 64, and sometimes that still isn't enough. In that case, what I'll do is I'll often change it to 60 frames per second and then 120 shutter speed. So you can play around with that. If it doesn't work, just do your best. It's still going to look better than if it's real jittery. It'll look jittery, overly sharp, and just uncomfortable. I've been talking a lot lately about doing vertical video. They're selling more, and you want to be in that market. And with this device, it's very easy. Don't try to reframe it digitally. Just turn it to the side. The gimbal will orient itself, and you'll have a vertical video. As you can see, this is a nice vertical video. And that's the better way to do it. Now you're getting 4K, you're using the whole sensor resolution, and it's just going to be a lot better. The next tip I have for you is to stop trying to move. Now, many of you are younger, maybe you can do the ninja walk. I can't. No matter what I do, I cannot get smooth movement. And when it comes to most video, you don't need to be moving. You don't need to be walking. You don't need to be running around and zooming in and out. Just hold it. I hold this with my arms a little bit out, and I hold perfectly still and let the gimbal do the work. This is like having a mobile tripod. I'll stop where I'm at. I'll get the scene. I press record. I hold it for 20 seconds. That allows me to cut off maybe the beginning or end where I'm touching the button and still have enough for a good shot. Then maybe I'll turn it vertical and get the same shot, just holding it steady. It's like having a mobile tripod, and that's what you really want, is steady video. You don't want moving video. Everybody thinks that's what they want, and it's not. I don't even try to walk with this anymore. It just gives me that up and down effect, and it doesn't look good. And you don't need it for stock video. The clips that sell are often the static videos. This camera has a 1-inch sensor, and it is excellent in low light. Sometimes I do use neat to remove noise, but often I don't have to do that at all. It is beautiful. I don't know how DJI is doing it, but this is nice, clean video, even in low light. And I'll show you some examples here. The other thing this does is time lapses really well, and it can do motion lapse or hyperlapse. It's very easy to program. It's very easy to use. You can drag the shutter out as long as a second, and that gives you beautiful motion blur even at night. This is a small but powerful machine. Unlock it, use it to its potential. The longer I have it, the more I find myself using it. So much to the point now that when I travel, this is all I'm taking, unless I intend to do some nighttime time-lapse videos of the Milky Way or Northern Lights. Anything else I can do on this little camera, and it does fit in my pocket. Even with this, I can just take it off, put this in the case, put it in my pocket, and disassemble this and put it in my other pocket. Even in this configuration, it's completely mobile. I'm not trying to review this device. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you that for content creation, for videos that you can sell for a profit as stock video, this is all you need. Once you get this, if you want to get something else, it will pay for itself, and it'll pay for any other equipment you get if you're persistent. I hope this video is helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. I really appreciate you. Have a nice day.